Welcome in the ring. Happy Friday. Let's fight. Folks, we have quite a number of issues to discuss this evening. I'm experiencing some trouble on my personal Facebook page that we stream to, but we're not going to let that hold us back. We're discussing all things flood related. We're a nation under water this evening, and we're going to walk you through several areas in our nation that is flooded. All 10 administrative regions, as a matter of fact, is currently underwater in some way or the other. Great dislocation to of the public, the citizenry, your brothers and sisters, residents in all parts of the country are experiencing tremendous dislocation tonight because of these floodwaters. And we're going to bring some of the images, some of the video that we have to you, and we're going to walk you through some of that. We're going to get some reports from some persons in the various regions, and we're hoping that somewhere in the evening that you guys also can call us and let us know what is happening, where we are. We'd be very, very pleased to know that. Again, welcome wherever you're picking us up from this evening on our YouTube channel, on Twitter, on Facebook. Share this live stream, retweet, subscribe to our channel on YouTube so that you get our notifications whenever we come live. It's good to see each and every one of you. I am making sure that I have my notes set where I am. And guys, again, we trust that you guys have had a good day and we are ready to go at our end. Again, we are still experiencing some technical difficulties at our end. Some of our pages aren't functioning as they should, but we're hoping that by the weekend, they are up to scratch. But we're happy that you guys are here. Tag a friend, share this live stream on your Facebook page, on your Facebook profile. It's 911 this evening, a nation underwater, and we're going to be walking you through lots of what we know at this hour. Thanks again for all of you who are joining us. I am just ensuring that I have my notes together and that I am ready to go. A lot of information to get you guys through tonight. Lots of information. And so we're going to wait until you guys share the live stream. Some other folks join with us tonight before we get set and ready to go. We are so privileged that all of you guys are here, and welcome again. Welcome again in the ring. Good. So good to have each and every one of you. We are going to be joined, as I said, by quite a few persons, again, giving us some updates as to what is happening in those regions. What is happening in those regions. And we are thankful that you guys are all here with us tonight. All right, we're going to expect some phone calls, and you guys know our number by now because we want to know what is happening where you are and wherever you're picking up this live stream from. We're hoping that if you have photographs of a flood where you are, that you stick that photograph in the comment section because we don't have all the images that are available, and we want to keep adding to what we have and also circulating so people understand that they should take every precaution necessary. And again, we're getting some challenges on some of our Facebook pages, and we are going to try to rectify that as soon as possible. As soon as possible, we're going to try to rectify that. Again, we're getting some calls already, but we're not ready to receive those calls just yet, folks. Bear with us, and we're going to get stuff together soon enough. So ensure our operators that we are on the pages we're supposed to be on, and that we are good to go at our end. Guys, it's a nation underwater this evening. And we are going to, again, as we said, be walking you through some of what we know at this hour. For instance, the leader of the opposition came out this morning with a very strong statement and addressed the situation head on. I want to quote a part of that for you. The statement from the leader of the opposition says that continuous rainfall over the past week, along with high tides, have resulted in flooding in regions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all 10 administrative regions. Several communities have experienced extreme flooding, including Kokwani, Blackbush Pola, Bartica, Hosororo, Aishalton, among others. There have been disruption to lives and livelihood, considerable damage to property, and loss of crops and livestock. He says it's a public health crisis at this point. Yep, a public health crisis is developing A public health crisis is developing with dead livestock rotting in the flood waters in a number of areas. And folks, we want to give you a sense of what is happening, and we're going to be sharing with you this map throughout the evening and some of the images as we talk with our contacts, our MPs in the various regions, or members of parliament, as we talk to you guys, because we want to give you guys a chance to call and let us know what is happening where you are. We are going to bring more of these images to you. But as I said, in all 10 administrative regions this evening, there is flooding from region 1 to 10. And whether and some of the information, the data that is on your screen currently reflects not only those flooded areas, and our map is not limited to all of the areas that are flooded, but some of the areas also that need infrastructural work, that needs lots of infrastructural work. And we're going to be walking you guys through some of the areas on this map as we talk to some of our MPs in the various regions. I'm going to call some of them, and perhaps some of them are going to call me as well. But this is the map we're going to be looking at, as well as surveying some of the other information that is available to us at this hour, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're experiencing some difficulties on some of our pages, and we're asking you guys to, if you're picking us up on YouTube, that you share the link on YouTube back to your Facebook profile or page. Or if you're picking us up on Facebook, that you also share the live stream with as many persons as possible. And we're going to be bringing you some of the images coming out from the regions, folks. It is not a pretty picture this evening. It is not a pretty picture at all. And let me just show you some of what we are seeing this evening coming to us. Let me share that with you. Again, throughout the 10 administrative regions, we are seeing these pictures. All right, I'm gonna start. All right, we have a minor challenge at our end there. Let me try to sort that out even now. What is causing that challenge we are having currently? But guys, we want you guys to share the live stream. Lots of information to get to. Lots of information to get to. Let me just ensure that we are good at our end, guys. Let me just ensure that we are good at our end and that we have all the information that we are supposed to have. We're getting, again, we're trying to pack so much information into this one show. We want you guys, let's get settled and let's share the live stream, and then we're going to walk through some of the information that is available to us at this hour. So let me just not share some of what we have currently. All right, let me try to get this back up properly. We are again tweaking some of the issues behind the scenes where we are, and hopefully we come back to you guys very soon. I really want you guys to get a good sense of all of the information we have at this hour. And bear with me, we're going to have that information back for you a moment's notice. Guys, we're not ready to take any calls yet. I know some of you might be very, very excited to call us, but we're not ready to take any calls just yet. So bear with us, folks. All right, let me take this one. Very good evening, Chief Whip. MP Jones, you're live. You are live. I'm live. Yes, sir. We're having some challenges with some of the pages, believe it or not. So what we're asking folks is, if you're picking us up on YouTube, you share the link back to Facebook. To share the link back to Facebook. And Chris, I'm going to ask our operator to share that link with you, and so that you can share it on your page as well. We'd be very, very grateful for that. But Chris, as I have you on the line, I know that you're trying to get a sense in your own mind, and for all purposes, what is happening on the ground. We'd love to have some information from you, if you have that information available at the moment. Anything that concerns this flood. Yes, Chris. The national flood. Yeah, yeah. It's a whole pack of it's confusion powder, all right. And it's sad to say, it is sad to say, but our people needs leadership. We are now compounded with a national flood situation. Some of it it's natural, but some of it could be avoided. And I'm going to walk people through some of where needs infrastructural work, for instance. And that is why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Using the resources that they have to purchase vaccines to pay for this. They have the money. And we made the point to them before in terms of the type of vaccine. Now you take, for example, regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. Those hinterland regions where you have to travel by boat or go over mountains to reach the residency. It's almost an impossibility that you could give those persons a first dose and then go back, whether it's 28 days or 2 months after, to give them the second dose. To find those people, you will have challenges relocating those people again. And that's why we made the recommendation to them that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is most applicable to regions such as 1, 7, 8, and 9. So when you find those persons in those far-flung hinterland regions, you give them that one vaccination, and that's the end of it. You don't have to go back to find them. One dose, and that's the Johnson & Johnson. For the People's Progressive Party Civic, have the coffers, the people's money in the coffers, and they refuse to spend it because they're using it for their own corrupt practices. That these contractors and they're claiming how much $100 and something million, and there's kickbacks going towards them. And and they are not using the resources of the state to ensure that the well-being of the citizens is a first priority. They're dependent on donation, vaccines donated by here, I think Guyana, if you compare us to many of our Caribbean territories, is that we got donations from almost every part of the world, except perhaps you got vaccines from China, you got vaccines from India, you got vaccines from Russia, all over the place. And then as the point was made by Dr. Richard Van Rest, is that the Sputnik vaccine has not been even approved by the WHO. We got serious situation in this country.
We are continuing to monitor the situation. Chris, I know you might have a busy evening. Anything else on your mind where this flood is concerned?
The last but not least, Sherrod, it's the non-sitting of the parliament. It's essentially you could refer to as a prorogued parliament. Today marks 85 days. 85 days since the Parliament of Guyana has not met. All of the committees, including the Public Accounts Committee, which is the one committee that you can hold a government accountable, has not met. And therefore, it deprives the people's representatives from having that forum, which should be afforded to them to speak and get clarification on any matter of national importance. So all that we mentioned before in terms of this COVID and the vaccines and the flooding situation across the country, as parliamentarians, because the PPP has prorogued the parliament today, marking 85 days since the Parliament of Guyana has been prorogued, we are not able to pose any question, to seek any clarification, and to get any answers from the administration.
It's wickedness, Chris. It's wickedness.
It's more than wickedness. More than wickedness. As we speak here today, there are 491 questions that have been tabled by the APNU AFC members of Parliament. There is a motion which was submitted by David Patterson. There is a petition which has been submitted by Member of Parliament Sherwin Holder from Region 2 concerning the vendors there. None of those things have been able to make it to the public domain because the Parliament has been prorogued for 85 days. And that is why we spoke at length about the People's Progressive Party Civic. They don't like transparency and accountability. Could you imagine that the last day the Parliament met was on March the 4th? And that is when essentially a budget of $383 billion have been approved. So since we approved that budget of $383 billion, the PPP gets away, if you want to put it that way, with the money, and they're splurging money all across this country, putting money back in their own pocket, and the people's representatives cannot get account in terms of where those monies were spent, why it was spent there, why it hasn't been spent there, because the Parliament has been prorogued for 85 days. When you talk about full in front of your face, thievery, that is what is happening there. That is what is happening here.
They are scamps. They are scamps, and the people of this country will have an opportunity, in short measure, to register their disgust.
Exactly. Very well so. Very well so.
MP Christopher Jones, Chief Whip, Opposition Chief Whip, I want to thank you for coming through this evening on such short notice. Again, for those persons who are joining us, we want to ask you guys to share the live stream tonight of all night. We need to get this information out. What is happening in this country? It is madness under the PPP. It is already a natural disaster in a great sense, but lots of it could be avoided if they were doing what they were supposed to be doing these past 9 months. But they're busy doing the whole story. Busy doing the whole story. Chief Whip? Thanks again, sir.
Most welcome.
All right, folks, be bringing you more of these images throughout the evening. And again, for those of you who are now joining us, I really want to ask that you guys share the live stream. We are not getting through on some of our pages. We have some challenges on social media. For last night, for instance, we were on here, but we were streaming to YouTube. So you can check out our YouTube channel there at Sherry Duncan to see last night's program. We hope to have this issue rectified as early as tomorrow. But guys, besides that, I heard Mr. Jagio just this afternoon on a program on social media. And before he be talking about the hardships people are going through and how the government is going to try to alleviate some of these sufferings, he talked with Hamilton Green. Oh, Hampton Green said we party got a lot of old people, but look, we got young people. Who cares about that? Who cares about that? Who cares about that? All throughout COVID, they are sauntering. No sense of urgency. Deaths are increasing. Confirmed cases are increasing. The economy is tanking. And now we have a flood. Now we have a national flood, folks. A national flood. And these people will be meeting to talk about, who gets something better than somebody, some nonsense. Nobody has time with that. Right? You guys said you all wanted to lead and you're being given an opportunity to lead. Get with the program. Get with the program. Folks, we want to bring you some more of those images that we have for you. We're going to be showing you more of them throughout the evening. Take a look at this. And these are some scenes from various parts of the country. Some of the images of what is happening nationally there. We're going to continue to bring you more of those images. But as I asked you initially, share this live stream. Share this live stream. Share this live stream. Lots of people need this information. We are seeing, for instance, in Region 1, there's where I hope to start it from. Region 1, right? We are seeing some flooding there at places like Sororo in Region 1. Some places like Hosoro in Region 1 is it's underwater. And let me just give you an image of what that looks like, folks. Let me give you a sense of what that looks like. Right? This is the entire country. Every region, major portions of the region is underwater. And the installed Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, just recently said, this is not what we're saying. This is Zulfikar Mustafa in the state newspapers. He said that the entire country has been seeing some unprecedented and high intensity rainfall, the entire country. Zulfikar Mustafa, what has he done these many days later? Right? The entire country has seen intense rainfall that has placed a strain on the drainage system countrywide. Zulfikar Mustafa. And this is why we're seeing some of the scenes that we're seeing. This is the installed Minister of Agriculture. He says unprecedented rainfall nationwide. unprecedented rainfall in Region 1, in Hostaroro, stretch of the main road. Heavy showers have caused some major issues there in Region 1, the Hostaroro stretch of the main road. And this is some reporting coming out from our MP. He says that, they're looking to do some installation work with some of the cokers there. Also, the area known as the Cobarimo Bridge has some work that has to be undertaken by the administration. Right? We learned also that the water level remains high in most of the creeks in Region 1. Most of the creeks in Region 1. And this is the state newspapers I'm quoting now. Some of the internal roads have been eroded in Region 1 due to the flooding. This is the state newspaper. Some of the internal roads have eroded in Region 1 because of the flooding and are impassable in some areas from 6 miles. The reporting out of the state newspaper says that farmers have lost cash crops and poultry. Farmers have lost cash crops and poultry. All right, and we are following. I'm going to take any of the calls in any order. I'm not going to pick and choose this evening. I think we're going to be joined shortly by our MP out of region 6. And as long as he is ready, we are going to take him. A very good evening, sir. I think I have you on the wrong end. I'm going to ask you to call me back, please, and thank you. Call me right back. Thanks. All right, we're going to get some better audio there, folks, but just want to show you some of what is happening in the regions. Some of what is happening in the various regions. And this here is Region 6. This is Blackbush Polder. Blackbush Polder. Region 6. Right? All right, I'm trying to get my audio back. Let me see if I can do it from here. I might have to call. Guys, so many challenges this evening. Bear with me. Let me see if I get MP on the line. So many challenges this evening, but we want to bring you what is happening in these various regions. We're going to ask you guys to share the live stream. Share that live stream for us. All right, we're trying to call MP, and MP is trying to call us too. So let's see how this goes, folks. Again, we're experiencing some challenges on several of our Facebook pages, or in several of our social media platforms, and so we're asking you guys to please share the live stream for us, and let's get going. All right, we're trying to call back. MP. So share the live stream for us. Those persons who, especially who are joining us in Facebook, tag a friend, and I want to bring to you another one of those clips that we have coming out from the various regions. I think it's very, very important that you guys see some of these images. We aren't going to bother anything up for anybody.
As
it happens, we want to bring it for you. This again, I think it's Region 6, and I really hope I can talk to MP Jai Prashad. We're surmounting our communication challenges.
Yes, this is a life of a living Guyana. Work land to get from $2, and what's what happened? Tractor turnover. What's what happened here? Yes. Ramzan, I work a tractor turnover. Ramzan fall out. Praise God, he fall out. I stood on the front and left there. Yes. I will try my best. If I got them. Yes, this is a life of a living Guyana. Work land to get them $2. And what's what happened? Tractor turnover. What's what happened here? What? Ramzan, I walk the tractor turnover, Ramzan fall out. Praise God, he fall out. I stood on the front and left there. What? I was trying my best. I was trying my best to figure out them. What? This is the life of a living Guyana. Work land to get them $2. And what's what happened? Tractor turnover. What's what happened here? What? Ramzan, I walk the tractor turnover, Ramzan fall out. Praise God, he fall out. I stood on the front and left there. What? I was trying my best. I was trying my best to figure out them. What? This is the life
All
of
of
a
that
living
is part and
Guyana.
parcel of what is happening here with the flood. All of that again is part and parcel with what is happening here with the flood. I think we're going to have MP Jai Prashad in just a minute, and we're going to be a little patient. Still working behind the scenes to make sure that we get everything done that we need to get done. All right, guys, and we're going to give you the opportunity to call us in a minute. Bear with us. We're going to give you the opportunity to call us in a minute. Let me ensure that you have that number as well that you're going to call us on. Let me make sure you have the number. And that's the number you're going to call us on, because I want to hear what is happening where you are. And as we said, if you have the information, if you have photographs at your end, we want to hear from you. All right. I think we have MP Jai Prashad with us. Yes, and let me add in one time. A very good evening, MP. Welcome.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I am well. I'm well under the circumstances. Tell us what is happening in Region 6 where you are. We can see some of it, but tell us what is happening where you are.
Good night again, viewers. It's a sad state in Barbados for us, like other parts of the country. It's very, very sad. We did not expect that all these will happen to our people in such a short time. We know that is sheer negligence, basically, because we have had information coming into this country from overseas as well as our local meteorological office telling officials that there will be weather issues in this country. Yet, the honorable individuals who took office did not listen to the call and did not put systems in place. As a result, the entire Guyana is suffering at the moment. I am from Barbados, East Barbados Quarantine, region number 6, and the entire region is flooded.
Yeah, and
It is so
ahead.
hurtful to see. It is so hurtful to see our brothers and sisters.
Those places really affected.
So much. The people are very much agitated and angry, very much stressed out, and there isn't any one coming around to talk to them, basically to give them little morale and little support.
Yeah.
We see that clip there is Broomfield, basically. Broomfield is a village where the honorable minister lives, Minister of Agriculture. That is his village, right? So in his village, it's water everywhere. In my village, Port Parant, as we would say in the village, Port Parant Dock.
Yeah.
So
and according to the state newspapers, MP Jai Prashad, according to the state newspapers, there have been continuous heavy downpour and rice, cash crops, livestock, and properties around the water. According to farmers, their losses amount to millions of dollars, and it is anticipated that they would lose even more if the heavy rains continue. In some areas, it is difficult to identify street from trenches as the water is knee-high.
That's so true. But brother MP, this could have been avoided if systems were put in place. DNI, Public Works, Agriculture, if they had used their resources, the money that Parliament allocated in 2020 and 2021, if they had used that money to fix the drain and the canals and the um, irrigation system, then we would not have reached this stage. Everybody's saying, it's act of nature, rainfall, but it's negligence of man, negligence of the person holding the office, failure of the person holding the office to clean the drains. And this is blatant, straight up. They have not been doing their work, and they took things for granted, and this is the result. Poor people suffering. Oh man, the people got little chicken in a little pen, all dead out. You know, who will compensate them? The people who afford it can drive to the supermarket in the SUV and pick up their ration. They do not depend on a 10 chicken and a 10 eggs and a little kitchen garden. They buy that in bulk from retailers and wholesalers. But the people who are the voters, and some person in Port Moran were saying this afternoon, and Sharad, it's not something to laugh about. But I had a laugh with them. Even though they are agitated, they are frustrated, they're saying that we vote for them chaps this, we vote for them chaps this. And election time they come wrong. And they beg for vote. And now look, we vote for them and look what happened. These are persons saying in my village. Just imagine, what are the plight. What is the mental state of other person living in other villages that are far much worse than Port Moran. So it is basically saying to Guyanese that this was a strategic move not to clean the canals and the drains and the waterways, and this result. Let me tell you, based on information coming to us in Region 6, there was an issue with Eversham Pump. There's an issue with Adventure Pump. So how Eversham Pump and Adventure Pump got same issues at the same time? You hearing me, Sharat? I'm not getting you clear.
Sorry about that. MP
Yes.
Taipishak, I was saying, in Kanji Cane Field, I see works are needed there. Eversham, as you rightfully said, Adelphi, right? I see Borlam, Adventure number 47, number 43, Lesbian Holden number 51, number 52. Infrastructural works are needed in all these places to bring the situation under control. Hold that thought for us, MP. I have the leader of the opposition joining us.
Okay,
Leader of
okay.
the opposition, a very good evening. You are live.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. You are live on the air. I saw you put out a very strong statement. You were addressing the nation early on. What is your mind on this national flood that is occurring, sir?
That is man-made. The PBP administrationist installed regime knows that May, June is rain. It never fails. They know that. And so when you have the rainfall coming as it did and affects every region except region 8, according to the CDC's report, and you have no plan whatsoever in place to deal with this. So what has happened now is that you have the rainfall coupled with high tide, and so all of us, in all parts of this country, we are left to the mercy of the weather. And we are left to the mercy of these people in the PPP regime that all they look about is dealing with themselves. Let me tell you what happened for it. I know I don't have much time here in this program, but I have called in my statement this afternoon for there to be an interagency task force of all of the agencies which have anything at all to do with weather to come together to plan how we're going to get out of this, how we're going to exit this situation. They have not responded in any positive way. But apart from that, what I said also was that we must be able to do better forecasting. So all of those communities that you see are flooded now, those people are allowed, they allow those people to lose. Because if you have good weather forecasting, you ought to have been able to say to people, look, we're going to have bad weather for the next week or so. We're going to have flooding. Take measures to protect yourself. Even if the state did not provide the resources for them to protect themselves. So we set up, when we were in government, community radio stations all across this country. And so they could have used those facilities to say to people, start putting in place your own mechanisms, even if the RDCs or central government was not in a position to do so. But they allowed those people to be flooded. They allowed them to lose their stocks and their livestock. They allowed them to have their homes and so on damaged. And the response that you have is a meeting this afternoon with Irfan Ali and Barra Jagdian and the others, Mark Phillips and all of them. And all they can talk about is who they will give hampers to, how they will settle to give hampers. What kind of a response is that? It's madness. You have a crazy set of people who are just intent on seeing how much money they will make. So somebody has to now provide these hampers, and so they will get some money. And then later on, they will come to the parliament to say, okay, we have to make emergency measures, so we need an emergency budget. And they're going to go and spend again. The RDC chairman spoke to them and told them they wanted them to look at emergency infrastructure work in their communities, and they needed that fixed. They said they needed relief, flood relief for the persons who were affected. But what happened if finally understand jump in a helicopter and gone back on my hiker or somewhere in those places this afternoon? Photo opportunity. Mark Phillips somewhere in the region 9 or whatever it is, photo opportunity handing over hampers. You can't run a country like that. I call it episodic management. You manage by episodes. You have to plan the development of a country. And this is why I've always said that the PPP, they are incapable of managing Guyana. After they finish all the knocking off and the firing and so on, you have to get down now to serious business. And we are at that phase of serious business, but they don't know what to do. So they're just doing, okay, let us get some hampers and see what's going to happen after the flood go down. But you have to plan these things. And I've called for a national task force, an interagency task force that can sit down and in a constructive way plan how we will get our people out of this. Now we are also dealing with a national and international pandemic of COVID-19. And you remember the last time we had these floods? We had people dying out these flood waters because of the hygiene situation. I forget the disease that they used to call it. A lot of people died from a disease that was related to water.
Yeah.
Right? And so what we are seeing here now is incompetent management of the of this national issue. And I have said that I am prepared in the interest of the nation to put the skills and abilities of the AP and the AFC at the disposal of this country to help us plan this situation and get out of it. But they don't want that. We made the same offer to deal with the COVID-19 situation. And now after all of this time, they could only vaccinate 20% of the population. They're running begging us, go and do this, go and do that. As if, okay, we control 80%. Well, I agree that is what the situation is in Guyana. And I believe that is the 80% of the people that say ain't going to get vaccine because we say so. is because they support us. So they recognize they are only having 20% of the people in this country that supporting them. You understand me, Sherrod?
Sir.
So
Yes, sir.
we are in a situation now which requires level heads and requires a certain level of collaboration by all of our people. And we are prepared to work in that regard. But this installed regime believe they know it all, and they don't know what to do. You understand?
Mr.
So when
Harmon,
the
is it
regional
because
chairman
is it
backed them
because
up
they
this
are
afternoon,
ashamed? Is
they're
it because
all
they are
telling them a
ashamed?
whole bunch of stupidness. A bundle of stupidness about how much hamper they want. Also, you're going to set up a little tent here for this and a tent here for that. What is that going to do? That is only short-term relief. So I have put out in the public domain a statement which encapsulates a plan of what needs to be done to deal with this situation and how we can bring relief to the lives of all of these Guyanese people affected. 9 out of 10 administrative regions are affected, Gerard. And so you can't have a comatose administration that is there, they're gone home now and sleep, they must be gone at hard rock and drink or eat and drink and all of that. When people outside there struggling and they don't know how they're going to sleep tonight. This is what we have. This is the comparison I make. While people are suffering and punishing, they are partying and sporting. And they're sporting at the biggest, the most expensive places, eating a lovely steak and so, while people can't even get a piece of chicken to eat in the bush. That's the story.
And we are faced, Mr. Hammond, with several challenges. We got COVID on one front. We got the fact that we have
Yes.
mismanaged the economy in such a short time. Food prices are skyrocketed. Beef is $800.
Yes.
You understand me? A man
Beef is
just sent me today.
$800.
A man sent me today a pack of soap powder. A small pack of soap powder was $100 in the shop. It's $160 now. You understand me? And prices
Yes.
of you see soap gone up. We got a lot of water, a lot of rainwater, but
40%.
we can't pay it properly now because soap gone
So
up.
you see, yeah, I issued a statement on that yesterday too, Sharon.
Yes,
That
sir.
what they have done, they have reimposed the common external tariff is a tax on soap that's coming into this country. 40%. At a time when now you are telling people that COVID is there, wash your hands regularly, use soap. And so when you now gotta use the soap, that the price got up like that. One people don't wash their hand, and those who wash in the hand will probably wash it half the time they used to do because the price gone through the window. And so this is what I'm saying, that we have an episodic government, that they don't think things through, they don't make a connection between point A to point B. And that if I take an action at point A, what consequences it have on B, C, and D. You understand? So one day is the 40% tax on soap. The next day is that you don't know what to do about studying. The next year, vaccines run out. Right? And so we have a pandemic. On top of that pandemic, you have studying. And on top of that, you have an incompetent government that is a pandemic in themselves.
I was about to say that. I was about to say that they are the greatest pandemic. Opposition leader Joseph Harmon, do you think we have the money to help our citizens? Because this is what is happening currently. I think you had said to them that COVID needs more money. They said no more money for COVID. They're done. There's no second COVID coming. But I think they are ashamed. They are ashamed because they took such a strong stance not to engage the opposition, to come and say, listen, give us some money. Help us with this big fund that we have where we're putting all the oil money in this fund overseas. Our people are hurting. We need money. They're so ashamed, but they rather the people suffer than they to come to the opposition, come to Joseph Harmon and say, we need help. Help us. Thoughts?
Sharon, you recall in the last budget, in my budget speech and in the debate, I said that we were prepared to agree to an increase in the budget if they were to go back to say, we are going to put something more there for as relief for the Guyanese people from COVID. It's on the Hansard of the parliament. I said that and I repeat it. But these guys are scammers. They don't want to touch the Natural Resources Fund because of the measures that they have put in place there for transparency. They want to go now and borrow on that. And that's why you find that the report which came out from the central bank was a terrible report on the first quarter performance of the economy. And I said it on my program last week that Jagdeo himself had almost quarantined that report. The central bank governor could not release it. And after he was faced with all kinds of criticisms, they put it out now in the Guyana Times. And look how they put it out. 29.1% oil economy increase. And at the bottom of it, the rest of the economy minus 6%. You understand? So they are trying to fudge the figures, but the economy is not doing well. Prices are going up on everything. The workers, the tax-paying workers in this country, they cannot get a salary increase, while at the same time, Jagdeo are just dancing around, saying, "Oh, we have money inside
And
the
the
budget.
Minister of Infrastructure that's supposed to be helping with the Minister of Infrastructure that's supposed to be helping with lots of this issues here, lots of these issues here. They're drinking with the National Security Advisor. You understand me? They're flooding themselves.
The National Security Advisor, you're speaking about Mr. Jerry Gavaya?
Yes. Flooding themselves with
He's
rum
drinking too?
while the nation floods with water.
Yes.
Poor leadership.
Well, you see, that is the level of
Mr.
empathy
Herman, as
for
we come down to program time,
suffering
what are
of
your
people.
thoughts on the nation that is hurting this evening? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are this, that we have a PBP regime that has no concern for the ordinary man in this country. That the AP and the AFC provides that quality leadership, and that they should listen to what we are saying. The government, of course, the regime, they have all of these state assets, they have the resources to do things for people, but they are doing it for themselves and their friends and their business colleagues and the people who help them to be installed. So what I want to say to this country, to the people, first of all, work with your neighbors and in your communities. This is where it all starts. The communities have to come together to deal with the situations which affects them. And we will give you the kind of guidance and quality leadership to help you to fix the situation in your communities. We can't do everything for everybody, but certainly we can provide you with the guidance and the leadership. We have members of parliament in every geographic region of this country. We have NDC leaders, we have RDC leaders who are very concerned. In fact, today I was in touch with regions 4, Region 7, Region 10, the RDC chairman of those regions, and I've been in touch with several NDC chairmen. And they are looking at the situation. And I think that at least they have a plan as to how they will deal with it at that level. But certainly it will require assistance from central government with respect to the resources which have to come. So I say to the rest of Guyana that just as we are fighting together, we're fighting COVID, together we'll have to fight this flood. And I ask you, each of one of you, to be your neighbor's keeper and to just look out for your neighbor and let us work together to deal with this. Sometimes you can't worry with this government. This government is sometimes a blight. They just blight you. Right? So this is a blight from Guyana. You ever see all these things happening one time? Flood, COVID, and all these different things. This administration, this regime is a blight. And you gotta spray them out. You got to get some kind of disinfectant or something and spray them.
I'm happy I
Really,
have the pandit
they're not doing good.
with me this evening. Thank you, Mr. Harmon,
Mhm.
for coming through this evening. I know you're busy. I don't want to hold you back too much. But thank you
Thank you,
for
Sherrod.
adding your 2 cents. Thanks you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
MP Jai Prashad,
Yes,
what are
sir.
your thoughts to the region? What are your thoughts to the region this evening? As we come down to program time, what are your thoughts? I know, folks, we haven't touched as yet. I have so much information here from region 1 to 10. From
10
region 1 to 10, we probably need a second and a third program to go through all of it,
program.
all of the
Good program.
areas, all of the needs.
Yeah.
Tell us about
It
region.
is. It is.
And as we close, MP Jai Prashad, I was made to understand that the Minister of Agriculture said publicly that he didn't know what was happening in Region 6 because he didn't get some report. But credible sources tell me that the people responsible for reporting to the minister on what is happening in agriculture and flooding and so on in the region did submit a report here. Did submit a report to him concerning Region 6, and I'm going to put out that information later on. MP Jai Prashad, as we go.
Yes,
Your
sir.
thoughts?
It's basically information overload. One program is not enough. Um, People are bold enough now to submit information to us. It is a state that people are not taking the words from these chaps as anything of substance. Um, all the villages in the quarantine are flooded out. So I don't know what form of assistance they will give to the people. Basically, these are people who depend on a day-to-day living. Um, I hope that they use some of the resources to ensure that they can compensate the people because this is what the people need. That is one. Number two, this is not an act of nature. This is negligence. Guyana weather pattern is December, January rain, May, June rain. Any child going to school know that. So if
Yeah.
any person holding an office say that May, June, and December, January, he didn't know that rainfall, then he beat out
Yeah,
to
what
the
he
place,
saw.
man.
Yeah,
You know
what he
what it's
saw.
all. So everyone knows that May, June, and December is rain for us. December, January, May, June. Why are you waiting on May, June to clean the drains? Are you crazy? Are you
The
out of touch
backward.
of time as to what really
Yeah.
is happening? You know? So basically, you basically have the information and the meteorological office for the Caribbean, for the world, and for Guyana indicated to us through the internet that we'll have some series of weather changes and it will affect us along with the high tide and so forth. But
Yeah.
these persons had the information and they kept it low. If I am aware, then the government is aware that the information was on the air.
Yeah.
We were telling them, fix it.
Yeah.
And they are not willing to accept help. These guys feel as if though this is plating. But let me remind all of us, this time not long time. Things change.
Indeed.
People
Indeed.
are
Indeed.
au fait with the internet. People will go onto the internet and post. A lot of my brothers and sisters in Region 6 are using the internet to post what is happening in the villages, in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
People
Yeah.
people kitchen
Yeah.
flat out, but MP
It's a
Duncan,
different
people
country
kitchen
in all
flat out.
respects. It's a different country in all respects. MP
Yeah.
Jai Prashad, I want to leave our discussion there. We're a little over program time. I want to leave some space to the other persons who are going to be on social media with the various programs.
All
I
right.
want to thank you for coming through for Region
One
6.
point.
Yeah.
One point. We are in the pandemic, COVID. So my brothers and sisters who are exposed to this water, try to protect yourself, protect your
Yeah.
family. Boil the
Yeah.
water, sanitize. I know soap is getting expensive. This government raised soap. The price for soap has
In a
gone up.
pandemic and a
So
flood.
please practice safety measures. Your life is
Yeah.
important. We are here to serve you. Thank you. Good night, buddy. Good night, Guyana. Good
Fantastic.
night, everyone.
Thanks very much, MP Bishad. Folks, there you have it. Even though we have lots of more information for you, lots of more information for you, we want to be cognizant of those folks who are going to be following us. Continue to social distance, wear your mask, sanitize, practice all the other COVID-19 protocols that are in place for your health and your safety and that of your family and loved ones. Folks, have a good evening. Have a safe evening, folks. Have a safe evening. If you have a chance, help somebody in need, especially during this flood and COVID and everything else, please do not fail to do so. Thanks and stay safe.